Hi everyone, I welcome you all to our tech podcast series. And today we are back again with our yet another podcast. Now, today obviously I'm Savi, your podcaster of the day, and today we will be talking about the technology. Is it so? And also, are we going to talk about artificial intelligence? Wait. Let me take you a let me go with the introduction of the speaker first. For today's podcast, we have a very special guest. We have Dwarika with us, who is the co-founder and COO of IS Analytics. So, with that note, I welcome you, Dwarika, for our today's podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you, Chavi, and thank you for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm also doing great. So before jumping on to our podcast and the roller coaster questions, first of all, I would be very happy to know that how you started your journey and tell us something about your company as well.
So yeah, I mean, my name is Dwarika, one of the co-founder at IS. So my background, I'm in electronics engineering from IIT Dhanbad. So and after that, I had a brief stint at IBM where I have worked more on the, you know, various technology in enterprise environments, right? And then then I started my entrepreneurship journey, right, where I was building a e-commerce platform which was trying to bring mom and pop grocery stores in India, especially in Bangalore, online. So way ahead of its time, to be honest, right? I was trying to do that in 2010 to 13, 14. Uh, and then I moved back to consulting career. So, I also hold an MBA from Imperial College London. Post my MBA, I did a stint at strategy consulting, more again focusing on M&A. Then 2018-19 we started IS, right? We bootstrapped till now, right? So I mean, I think you might like to know more about IS, but I think I'll keep it to the next question.
Yeah, would love to. And you mentioned that it's bootstrap. So is it easy for you to manage it? Because obviously there's a workforce and a lot of things which gets added after a particular point of time.
So yeah, I think running a bootstrap company has its own merits and demerits, right? The pros and cons, as you say. One thing is that running a bootstrap business makes sure that you have your creative space where you can build your company or your organization the way you want to, right? Without really uh, getting distracted or having to focus on other things, which comes with investment, right? But yes, I think because we are a bootstrap company, we have to be very careful on each penny that we spend, right? But I think you know we love it building like that, and we want to obviously go for funding and other things in the future, but until we can support this growth that we have for ourselves, right, we'll be bootstrapped.
That's actually great to hear that. Now, moving with our amazing questions, one thing that I wanted to understand from you, because obviously, when it comes to technology, right now, like we all know about data analytics and how it is very much useful for the businesses, but would love to know some pointers from you that how is actually data analytics helping businesses in their growth, and would love to know some insights of your company as well in this terms.
So let me start with why is, right, and then I'll link it back to this question, right? So I think if you see our grand vision of our company is trying to uh, be that enabler of every decision making that every organization does every day, every second, every minute, right? So we want to enable businesses to make the right decision, right, using the data that they have, right? So that is a grand vision that we have for our organization. uh, and what we are trying to do today is that we are trying to bring a lot of context of functions, right, various functions within any business, like be it finance, marketing, sales, and so on and so forth, right, and then powering those functional knowledge along with data to make the right decisions for the business, right? So that's what we are trying to do. So essentially, a long story short, we are bringing consulting and data and technology and data science, analytics, and everything, right? So those all this mm, let's say trendy words that you see in the market, bringing them together along with the functional knowledge. So that's what we are, right? Now, coming to your question, how analytics or data is helping businesses, right? So, if you see, traditionally businesses have been very much data oriented. Only thing that has changed today is that the amount of data that you can capture, right, and the amount of data that you can analyze, that has really leapfrogged because of cloud, big data, and there are various models, data science models that are coming into picture. So essentially, if you see, the companies are using data and analytics in two broad areas. One is to create more opportunities, because once you have more data, that it can create more revenue streams for you, more business models for you. So you can use the data for that. The other thing is that they are using data to improve their productivity. One of the key things that I tell people is that in last 12 years, the overall, if you see in the world, the productivity curve is very flat, right? Where productivity is not improving. So I mean, irrespective of all the claims that we make in the market that, okay, technology is creating productivity, but I think most of the technology that has been created in last 10, 12 years are being implemented in non-productive areas, maybe social media, maybe gaming, maybe more shopping, right? But it is not really improving the productivity of the organizations, right? So if you don't improve your productivity of your organization, your overall growth, right, as an world, growth will stagnate. So I think data and analytics has a huge role to play there, because it can improve the productivity of organizations, right? Apart from creating new revenue models, right, it improves the efficiency of each and every department, every function, and every employee, right? So it is going to help them. I think it's already helping, but I think we will see even more interesting things happening in that area in the coming days or years.
That was really great and insightful at the same time. I really loved hearing so from you this portion, and we talked about data analytics, but would love to know that how artificial intelligence right now people are curious about, and also the impact that artificial intelligence is creating is something very huge. Sometimes we think that, okay, let's not hire people for these particular tasks because these can easily be done by artificial intelligence. So what's your view on AI when it comes to business growth?
Because we are living in a world of a lot of information, and sometimes when you are thrown a lot of information at you, right, you sometimes don't understand the real difference between different terminologies, different words that are coming in. So but if you see the overall uh, mix of things here in the market today, so we have data, which are the foundational blocks of any analytics, right? So because any analytics model or any analytics generally feeds data and then build insights on top of it, right? So any organization who has data, and that data is in a usable format, they'll be able to use analytics much more effectively than others, right? So that everyone knows. Then on the analytics layer, you have at the at the, let's say, bottom of the pyramid, you have very simple let's say Excel based models, where you, or maybe even BI based models, where it takes the data and slices and dices the data, show you some simple reports or complex report, depending on how you slice and dice the data. But I think what artificial intelligence is trying to bring here is that is trying to automate some of the steps that we do in our brain, right, and try to implement that by itself. So for example, I think human brain is very much more powerful than artificial intelligence, definitely, as of today, right? But what human brain is really good at is executing a strategy, right? So how do you go from A to B? So it can exactly architect it and then get you there. But what artificial intelligence is able to help them is, because if you see how the brain works, is like it creates also tactical steps to go from A to B, right? It is like you're going from, let's say, Mumbai to Delhi. So but you have to take a route, and then maybe you have to take right turn, left turn, and maybe go straight. So I think artificial intelligence is good in executing smaller steps in that whole journey, but you still need human intelligence to architect that whole journey, right? So I think what artificial intelligence will do is that it will liberate our time to think about how to execute tactical steps, right, rather focus on more bigger picture, more strategic thinking, right? So that basically it is going to basically liberate us from doing mundane, or I mean not even mundane, like smaller things, right? So for example, you take chat gpt, that you're seeing like so many people are so excited about chat gpt. It can automate things, it can really replace google, it can really replace human. But I think it's still in a very early stage, right? So those kind of, even the highest matured type of models are also very early stage, right? So they will help you to create, let's say, the base model of any essay or any content that you create, and then you will need human creativity to take it to the next level. So same with business, right? So business will also do small steps there, but then you will still need a lot of business consulting or business context to make it really usable.
That was actually great, and that was so true that yes, we need to understand that AI is actually not replacing replacing us. It's about it is giving us time to think out of the box. So
See,
I
I will
think
not, I'll not sound alarmist here, but I think it has the potential to replace us, right, in many ways, but not not now, right? Maybe it will take some more time, and maybe it will replace us faster than uh, we can imagine or we can think of. But I think we're still some time away from there.
exactly, that's so true. Okay, I guess let's talk about career opportunities. When it comes to career opportunities, I wanted to know that how is data analytics being seen as a career option among the young developers, and also what are the career opportunities that are available in the market for them?
Probably, everyone, I mean, it's no brainer for anyone that there is a huge opportunity in data analytics, right? Every organization, uh, every government, I mean, including government and private, all the organizations are spending huge amount of money, resources, to build more data and analytics capabilities, right? And I think 90% of the organizations are still stuck in building the right foundational data platforms for themselves, right? I mean, forget about those googles and facebooks or open ais or diffusion data ai. Those, like new age data native or digital native companies, they are obviously well ahead of all the traditional companies, but everyone is trying to catch up. So there's a huge amount of investment going, and then obviously there are various reasons why it is slow, why it will take time for them to match, or maybe they will not ever match the sophistication of other companies, right, or technology companies. But I think there is a huge amount of investment happening. So what does that create is a lot of opportunity for engineers, right? uh, I think it is creating opportunity for everyone. I mean, not only engineers, right? You need engineers, you need psychologists, you need historians, you need content creators, you need everyone, right? To be honest, uh, so it is creating that. So I think doesn't matter in which stream you are working or you're studying. I think data analytics, ai is going to be affecting your life, and your it is going to define your career as well, right? So for example, if you're an art student, right, i think I think probably AI is going to define how you create new set of arts next, right? In content, right? You can write a script and AI can create a video for you, right? So how will you put that use that as a tool for your content creation career, right? So that is it. But if you come to the pure play engineering, if you are thinking about how is it going to impact engineers, I think that is also going to get impacted, because if you see, even ai is able to create code for itself, right? You give them natural language instruction, it can create code depending on which language you want to create, and this is going to get more and more sophisticated. But what essentially it will do is that, again, liberate you from writing plain vanilla mundane code or plain vanilla mundane content, right? So that is one. The other thing is that it has also a lot of opportunity for people who are in science. I mean, like pure play science, or healthcare, or even like psychologists and everyone, because ai is also going to, because it's so disruptive, it is going to create a lot of impact on human, let's say, psychology, happiness, your I don't know, like everything, right? So we are going to really change society in some years, right? And it will be powered by data and analytics. I think we need to now really adopt our ways and adopt our uh, let's say research areas, right, so that we can help humanity to still live a happier life.
That was really great and insightful at the same time. Now, would love to know that right now we have seen a major role of data analytics in government in the governance as well. So, according to you, how are Indian and international governments accepting data analytics, and up to what level?
I think the government sector is, I mean, traditionally they have sit on lot of data, because ultimately they are the biggest service provider in any country, or any in the whole world, right? So and especially a country like India, where we have more digital infrastructure, and then penetration up to the ground level, right? Be it Aadhaar, be it Jan Dhan Yojana, or bank accounts, anything that you take, right? And I'm sure, and I'm hearing that a lot of other countries are also taking clue from the India's success story and implementing in the developing world, right? So I think the governments will sit on a lot of data, right? And they are using, or they can use it in many ways. So one of them is like, how do you provide much more targeted social services, right? So if you see in India, I think government during the COVID time have used data, right, to really target those people who are the most beneficiary of any support system that were required, because during the COVID, right, that is required. Then how do you much more target the education or healthcare to each of these individual, because each of these individual is different, and they live in different environment, they eat different food, they are affected by different pandemic, so basically, let's say viruses, bacteria, and so on and so forth. I think the healthcare can be also very much targeted, which will bring a lot of efficiency in terms of how much money we spend. That is there. Then much more effectiveness in terms of taxation, right? Not only taxation and collecting tax also, right? Like not only asking them to pay the tax, but also collecting the tax in much more smarter way, right? If you see, GST in India, for example, is already doing it, but I think this is just getting started, because more and more businesses will get more formalized, right, through data and analytics again, right? Because we are generating more and more data. I think last but not the least, probably, I don't know whether where the jury is still out. Let's see how, when I know, and I think there are no instances of such as such happened in the world, but I think there's a huge risk of also uh, sub basically subverting the democracy, right? Because we are now sitting on a lot of data, right? And I think the ruling government will always have a lot of control over the data, right? And if you see the AI models, they generally feed on this type of data, right? And it can really I think one thing has happened already in US is that how during the Trump election, how social media has really biased all the people, and same has happened in Brexit time in UK. But that trend may even get much more worse in the future, because we are collecting more data, the AI is getting much more pervasive, and it will feed all those in biased data, right? When the biased data goes into the model, it always gives you biased outcome. It could be biased content, it could be biased opinions, right? And then that will be a big challenge for the society. But we don't know how that will pan out. I think we just can hope that this will be used in much more ethical way than what we can think of.
Hoping likewise. And with that note, thank you so much, Dwarika. Especially the pointers you shared at the end. It was something. What should I say? Marvelous, because the pointers we discussed were so realistic, and we had a very deep conversation about data analytics and also artificial intelligence. Thank you so much for your amazing insights. And for the viewers, I have attached his socials in the description below. You can have a look into it, and don't forget to connect with him, because he is an amazing person indeed. With that note, thank you so much, Dwarika, for joining in. It was really fabulous hosting you for this podcast.
Thank you for having me, and it was really a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much. And for the viewers, stay tuned for such an amazing, for these sort of podcast for the future. Till then, take care. Bye bye.